everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program, and we're not going to let a blizzard stop us. I'm here in New York. Thank you, AJV. You know, it's snowing. Didn't make it into the Wine Lib today. Perfect snowball weather. I mean, you cannot beat it. And I figured what better thing to do than continue our tradition that when it snows hard and when things happen, we bring out the big boys. So we go Bordeaux in this wintry mix today, and we go with two great producers, Chateau Pichon Lalande, one of the great Pauillac producers in the world, and Chateau Pape Clement, which has become a humongous, amazing wine from the Grave that so many people are going crazy about. Now, the Pape Clement from 95, the Pichon Lalande from 2001, and we're going to start with the Pape Clement. And while I'm at it, I want to give a great birthday shout out to Pat Canella. Happy birthday, buddy, little belated. Chateau Pape Clement, 1995, Paysac. Grave, comes from a 30-hectare parcel, 60% Cabernet, 40% Merlot. We'll pour a little bit out for the maniacs that aren't with us any longer. Put that right there. Actually, probably won't see it. Put it right there. In the glass, swirl it around. Great color. Not pitch black. You can see your hands through it a little bit. 95 was a great vintage. It was very hyped. Any of you that were collecting wine back then would recognize. Big vintage. Everybody was excited about it. 91, 2, 3, and 4 were kind of meh. So 5 was like the first vintage that got really excited. It was one of my first vintages that got really, really crazy that I remember super well. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Great old world nose coming through. A little bit of cherry coming through as well. Misha, be careful over there. Yes, you'll get to see her real quick. You know, just really great sour cherry. AJ, you gonna close the door? Sorry. Little sour cherry coming through the nose, a little cedar, little Asian spice. Great nose. Has that classic Bordeaux nose that we all look for. You can just tell there's some age behind this wine. It's like 15 years from its release, which is crazy to me. Let's give it a whirl. Snow has some great, use a great too much, has some really fantastic tannins on the back end, which are quite subtle. Is that it for Mish? You're bringing her in? I see. Okay. Some great tannins, a little bit of cherry. I get a little cedar coming through. It's extremely elegant. This is not a big, massive wine. This is what you get with Bordeaux. You get some sort of kind of like, excuse me, balance and elegance, and the weight is more like milk instead of a milkshake instead of water, right? So a thin, crisp white wine is water. Bordeaux is like milk. And then these fruit bomb Australian Shirazes, California Cabs, stuff that we're seeing from the right back in Bordeaux, Spanish wines, some Rhone producers. You can get into the really milkshakey bomb weight. This is that middle tier where it's got some nice weight, but it's not, you know, thick. It's not viscous in your mouth. This wine is 100. You could see what just happened there. You know. Yes, I'm home, but that just flowed in the drinking. This is so darn drinkable. Anyway, this wine is $100 US. 91 points, I think, Parker. 90 points, Parker. One of those two. 90 points, Parker. I'm almost sure now. Classic in every fashion, you know, of the word. I'm looking to put a cork in this, bring it inside, go out to like Citarella here on the Upper East Side, get a nice piece of meat, grill it maybe on the barbecue. Just delicious stuff. You know, it really is elegant. That's why I can't get over here. I get a little pencil shavings. I get a little metallic aspect to it as well. You know, I'd be remiss to not mention those subtle flavors. It's got a great finish. It will last for another 5 to 15 years easily. I think it'll evolve quite a bit in the next 5 to 8 years. I think this wine is showing extremely well. I'm going to score 92 points. I like it quite a bit. 100 Bones is expensive, but if you can find it at a restaurant that bought it way back when it was probably a $30 or $40 wine, and it's on a list for 100 or 150 bucks, there's places out there that you can sneak this thing off of. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Shows the real great balance of the 95 vintage, a vintage that I think is overrated in some ways, because I think the 96s over Cabernet-based wines are much better, but it's a vintage that I think deserves some credit for being a very solid Bordeaux vintage. Delicious. These snow shows are always so fun. We do such serious wine. Anyway, let's move on. 2001 Chateau Pichon Lalande Pauillac. And this is a great producer. This is $90 US, 50 Cab, 36 Merlot, and 14% Petit Verdot. Now, for a lot of you noobs out there, Petit Verdot is a grape varietal that's allowed in Bordeaux, and you rarely see it go this high. It's a very distinctly high percentage of Petit Verdot. If you've been watching a long time, you know I love the PV. That stuff is bomb, baby, and I'm very excited about it. So, big percentage Petit Verdot. You're gonna get a dark, elegant, kind of like black chocolate thing going on. 93 points, Robert Parker. Do a little rinse, and let's pour it. I know, I just wasted some good wine. Sniffy sniff. A little stinctified, a little plum action. I get a little licorice and plum thing going on here. Excuse me. Definitely stinky and beef jerky and a little bit of pepper. Kind of interesting. Plum coming through now, a little blueberry. Very aromatic. In these conditions, I can really get the smell. I mean, it's just gorgeous out here. Anyway, let's give it a whirl. ...2001, coming off the back of the 2000 vintage, which was insanity, only followed by the 2005 vintage that was even crazier. This one is definitely bigger and meatier than the last effort. There's definitely a bigger structure on the palate that you're getting, no question, undeniable. However, it's got some really firm and tough tannins. Some people will be thrown off by that. It's still quite youthful. This is Bordeaux at its best. These wines can age, my friends. This is why you buy them for your grandkids. Ooh, red snowballs. Anyway, kind of cool. Anyway, I'm very fascinated by this wine. I'm going to retaste it a little bit more. Really sour cherries are dominating the mid-palate on this wine. And again, very similarly to the Pop Clement, Cabernet comes in. I get a little bit of like a pencil shavings, lead pencil shavings coming through on this wine. I also get a little bit of an intriguing kind of like mushroom component. There's a fungus exploding in my mouth, and it's not a bad thing. I don't have to go to the doctor. It's kind of like, you know, forest, you know, mushrooms. I just really like it. It's quite appealing. And again, I think, you know, if you really break it down, and you know, we're being silly and having fun here in the snow, let's get a little wine serious. You know, this, you know, I'm pouring a second glass. You know, and I am in a mindset that I'm home. I'm not at work, so I get that. But there's a drinkability factor that Bordeaux has that needs to be debated a little bit more. You know, I love big wines, and I love small wines, you know, like Rieslings and crisp whites and things of that nature. There's something about Bordeaux, as it falls somewhere in that middle, that just makes it so darn drinkable. You know, they're appealing. You know, I'm going, if you notice, you know, I'm just stepping outside of myself. It's so comfortable for me to pour that second glass. Now, that could be subconscious because I'm in my home environment. Where I do more drinking than tasting. But both these wines are showing quite well. It's nice to have them in my cellar, my collection here, my little freezer here in New York. It is definitely a well attended show. Wines have been showing well lately. 2010's been a good year. Haven't bashed wine so horribly. Maybe I'm in a better mood. Anyway, this wine's showing as well. You know, it's a really wait a minute. Did I just pour the Pop Clement? Because it felt like it was tasting. Did I just get weird there and pour the Pop Clement back into my glass? I think I did. Because I kind of like all of a sudden like clicked that it was tasting a little bit different. I don't know. We're gonna have to look at the videotape. Maybe that's why I said, like the last wine, I was getting the pencil shavings. Weird. You're gonna critique me and let me know on the video. I think that's what might have happened. I might have poured my second glass. Anyway, yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Anyway, ripe cherry flavors on this. Well, at least I know my palate's in line, right? I'm calling. Hey, this reminds me of the last one. It is, jerk off. Just a little too relaxed at home. Maybe not, because there is some similarities on there. But this does simply have like more red fruit. Anyway, lost my train of thought because that was quite interesting, and I wonder what happened there. But I'm very fascinated how well both these wines are showing. Now they're 190 bones, 100 and then 90 bones, so they should be showing well. That's a lot of bank. That being said, I think both efforts are quite solid. I'm going to score the Pop Clement a 91 plus and the Pichon Lalande a 90 plus. I do prefer the Pop Clement. Its elegance and its refinement, maybe its age is really showing its true merit. But overall, the wines are showing extremely well. It's a lot of fun for me to have you guys here in my home environment. And the question of the day is, what is your favorite thing to drink on a snowy day? So I'm going to give you a little look at the land. We're in NYC, blizzard time. They're doing a great job with the roads. Let's see if we could sneak in on little Misha. Little Mish. Mishi, say hi. Say hi, little Mish. Say hi, little Mish. There's a good smile. AJ working, Mishi playing, us wrapping up the Thunder Show. Please answer that question today. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world. Whether they like it or not. Mishi.